All right, ladies, pause for a second and picture this with me. Imagine you are standing right in front of me. I open my arms, pull you in, and give you a warm hug. At first, it feels sweet. It feels close. It feels safe. But then I do not let go. 10 seconds pass. 20 seconds pass. 30 seconds pass. 45 seconds pass. A whole minute goes by, and I am still hanging on. What happens inside your body? At some point, your shoulders tense up, your chest tightens, your mind starts screaming, okay, this is too much. Even if you liked me, even if you liked the hug, even if you liked the moment, your instinct would still tell you to pull back. Why? Because the second affection starts feeling like pressure, the magic dies. The second closeness starts feeling like control, the body wants freedom. And that, ladies, is exactly how attraction works. The tighter you squeeze, the faster the other person wants air. The harder you grip, the faster they slip. My name is Ismael Gomez. I am a coach, a writer, and a speaker. And in this video, I want to talk to you about why men are powerfully, deeply, almost wildly drawn to women who know how to detach, breathe, let go, and stay grounded in their own center. Now, I know, you have heard the word detachment 1,000 times already. You have heard it in dating videos, podcast clips, advice posts, therapy pages, and late night chats with friends. But here is the problem. A lot of people repeat the word without understanding the soul of it. So they turn detachment into a cheap trick. They turn it into silence, coldness, fake confidence, delayed replies, and weird games. Then they wonder why it still feels awful inside. So if you are folding laundry, scrolling, texting 3 people, checking his last active status, or half listening while your mind spins, stop. Give me your full attention, because if you miss the heart of this message, you will keep repeating the same exhausting pattern with a different face and a different name. Let us start here. Most women think detachment is about changing what they do on the outside, but leaving the inside untouched. They think it means, do not text first, do not double text, wait 3 hours, act busy, sound mysterious, make him work for it. And sure, sometimes pulling back behavior can create space. But if you are sitting there with your stomach in knots, staring at the screen, checking if he saw your story, rereading old chats, and praying he gives you a crumb of reassurance, you are not detached. You are still emotionally hooked. You are just wearing prettier makeup on your anxiety. That is not freedom. That is fear in a fancy dress. Real detachment is not about controlling the scene. It is about controlling your own energy. It is about asking, what is truly mine to do, and what is not mine to carry? That is the whole game. Your words, your honesty, your standards, your choices, your boundaries, your effort, your presence, your self-respect, those are yours. His timing, his interest level, his readiness, his consistency, his emotional depth, his willingness to show up, those are his. And when you confuse the two, you suffer. You suffer because you start doing emotional labor for a man who has not even shown he deserves a seat at your table. Think about how often you have done something mainly because you hoped it would create a result. You sent the perfect text, not because it felt true, but because you hoped it would make him chase. You posted the photo, not because you loved it, but because you wanted him to react. You stayed available, not because you were calm, but because you feared that one wrong move would make him disappear. You bent, twisted, softened, waited, and overgave because you were chasing an output, a reply, a call, a label, a little hit of validation. But when your peace depends on a result you cannot control, your nervous system goes feral. You overthink, you panic, you replay every word. You look for hidden meaning in tiny crumbs. Then the unattractive behaviors start creeping in. You ask questions you already know the answer to. You ignore red flags because you want a green light. You call your intuition insecurity when deep down you know something feels off. You become less magnetic because you are no longer flowing, you are grasping. And here is a hard truth with some bite to it. Anything you chase runs. Anything you smother fights for oxygen. Anything you worship rises above you. Anything you place on a golden pedestal starts ruling your emotions like a tiny tyrant. This is why detachment is not passive. It is powerful. It is the art of wanting without worshiping, caring without collapsing, loving without losing yourself. It does not mean you become numb. It does not mean you pretend not to care. It means your heart stays open, but your dignity stays intact. It means you can desire something deeply and still know, in your bones, that your life will not fall apart if it does not come. That kind of energy is sexy. That kind of energy is clean. That kind of energy says, I value this, but I do not need to bleed for it. Now let us talk about uncertainty because this is where so many women get wrecked. If you are not getting the safety you want from a man, a huge part of the pain is often not just what he is doing, but how badly you struggle with the unknown. Love has uncertainty baked into it. Dating has uncertainty. Early connection has uncertainty. Even long relationships have seasons where you do not fully know where things are going. The question is never, can I remove uncertainty? The question is, who do I become when uncertainty shows up? Do you become observant, honest, and grounded? Or do you become frantic, controlling, and desperate for certainty from someone who has not earned your trust? This matters because many of you are not dating the man in front of you. You are dating your projection. You are dating your fantasy. You are dating the version of him that exists in your lonely hope, not in real life. Somewhere deep inside, a lot of women carry this tender but dangerous idea that there is one special man out there who will finally complete them. The soulmate, the twin flame, the missing half. It sounds poetic, but hidden inside that story is a painful message. I am not whole by myself. I am unfinished. I need someone else to make me feel complete. And once you believe that, you stop seeing clearly. Because now every new man is not just a man. He becomes a possible rescue mission, a possible cure, a possible answer to the ache you do not know how to soothe on your own. So what happens? You meet someone. You barely know him, but your mind starts painting fireworks all over a blank wall. You imagine what he could be. You imagine what the relationship could become. You imagine how loved, chosen, adored, and secure you might finally feel if this one works out. Then, instead of watching who he really is, you start feeding the fantasy. You edit out what does not fit. You excuse what should not be excused. You cling to potential like it is proof. And when he eventually shows you, through action, effort, or lack of effort, that he is not the man you imagined, you get angry, hurt, confused, even obsessed. Not because you lost him exactly, but because the fantasy cracked. The dream got punched in the face. So now you chase harder, not always for the man himself, but for what you wanted him to give you. Love, attention, relief, validation, status, emotional anesthesia. That is why letting go does not mean you stop caring about people. It means you stop handing them the pen to write your worth. It means you stop making their interest the mirror that tells you who you are. If he wants you, wonderful. If he does not, painful maybe, disappointing maybe, but not defining. His choice is information, not a verdict on your value. Let me give you a picture for this because I want it to land. Imagine your favorite song in the world, the one that hits you in the chest, the one that wakes up your soul. Now imagine two different ways of relating to that song. In the first version, you do not like your own voice. You feel awkward, small, embarrassed, not enough. So you go looking for a man who can sing your favorite song beautifully. And the second you find one, you cling, you chase. You fear losing him because now he holds access to an experience you cannot give yourself. He becomes the source. He becomes the supplier. He becomes emotionally expensive. Now imagine the second version. In this version, you love your own voice. Maybe it is not perfect. Maybe it cracks a little. Maybe it is soft and human and flawed. But it is yours, and you know how to sing your own favorite song. You know how to comfort yourself. You know how to delight yourself. You know how to pour warmth into your own chest. So when you meet a man with an incredible voice, you do not need him to complete the experience. You can enjoy him, appreciate him, be curious about him, even desire him, but you do not have to grip him in panic. Why? Because he is not your only access point to something beautiful. You already carry the melody inside you. Then the question changes. Instead of, will he save me from my emptiness? It becomes, does he want to sing beside me? That is a whole different energy. One is hunger with shaky hands, the other is fullness with open palms. And let me say something that may sting, but it is true. People who run from their own feelings will absolutely mishandle yours. If a man cannot sit with his discomfort, he will escape yours. If he avoids his own emotional truth, he will dodge yours too. So stop trying to squeeze devotion out of someone who is allergic to depth. Stop begging a dry well for water. There is another piece of this that changed my life, and I want to give it to you as simply as I can. You can have what you need, but not always in the form your mind is demanding. Stay with me on this. Have you ever noticed how the people who scream, I need love, I need money, I need success, I need attention, often seem the most blocked? And then there are other people who move through life with this grounded, easy confidence, and somehow the very things everyone is clawing for keep finding them. That used to irritate me. I did not understand it. Growing up in Cuba, I saw what it felt like when a family truly needed money. I know what scarcity does to the mind. It makes you tense. It makes you vigilant. It makes you attach enormous emotional weight to what is missing. So when I tell you that neediness repels, I do not say it with judgment. I say it with compassion and with scars. The reason neediness pushes things away is because the more emotional charge you place on something, the more you create distance between where you are and where you think fulfillment lives. You make the thing huge. You make yourself small. You turn desire into desperation, and desperation has a smell. People feel it. Life feels it. The energy becomes loud, sticky, pressured. It says, I cannot be okay unless I get this. And the moment your whole emotional state depends on getting the thing, you stop relating to it with freedom. You start relating to it with fear. But underneath almost every intense need is a feeling you want to experience. When you say you need love, what you often mean is, I want to feel cherished, seen, safe, wanted, treasured. When you say you need money, what you often mean is, I want to feel relief, power, choice, freedom, stability. So the object you are chasing is not the final thing. It is a vehicle. It is the middle step. It is the outside form you hope will create an inside state. And here is the wild part. You can begin creating pieces of that inner state now, before the outer result fully arrives. No, this does not mean you lie to yourself. It does not mean you pretend bills do not exist or pretend a bad relationship feels good. It means you stop acting like your emotional life has to wait at the door until the world gives you permission. You start becoming the kind of woman who can generate dignity, joy, self-trust, steadiness, and warmth from within, even while she is building the outer life she wants. And when you do that, your energy changes from grasping to glowing. Think of it like this. If I walked up to you tense, gloomy, and heavy and said, please, I need you to make me laugh right now, you would probably feel pressure. You would feel responsible. You might freeze. You might not want the job at all. But if you looked over and saw me laughing genuinely by myself, eyes bright, body relaxed, enjoying something real, you would naturally lean in. You would get curious. You would wonder what was so funny. My joy would feel inviting instead of demanding. That is exactly what happens in attraction. Neediness says, fix my emptiness. Fullness says, come share in my energy. This is why the shift is not from wanting to not wanting. The shift is from needing to becoming. If you keep staring at the result, at the man, at the message, at the ring, at the title, at the number in your bank account, you will stay trapped in output mode. Output mode is exhausting because it keeps your eyes glued to what has not happened yet. Becoming mode is different. Becoming mode says, who do I need to be to naturally align with the life I say I want? How do I speak? How do I carry myself? What do I tolerate? What do I no longer beg for? What do I build? What do I practice? Where am I leaking power? Where am I abandoning myself? I learned this the hard way with YouTube. When I started posting videos, I was obsessed with getting 1 million views on a single video. Obsessed. I wanted the breakthrough so badly. Every time a video got 10,000 views or 20,000 views, instead of being grateful, I was frustrated. Why not more? Why not faster? Why not me? I was staring at the scoreboard like it was supposed to tell me who I was. And that pressure made me stiff. It made me less creative. It made me less honest. It made me perform instead of communicate. Then one day, something shifted. I got tired of worshiping the number. I sat down and got brutally honest with myself. I said, forget the million views for a second. How do I become better? How do I become sharper, clearer, stronger? So I focused on my inputs. I improved my videos. I worked on my camera setup. I trained my voice because I sounded too high, too nervous, too unsure. I practiced communication. I studied pacing. I got better at saying what I meant. Slowly, without drama, without the desperate chase, I became a stronger creator. And then the result came. The million-view video came after I stopped begging for it and started building for it. That is what I want you to understand. Sometimes the blessing shows up right after you stop strangling it. Sometimes the door opens the second you stop throwing your whole body against it. Sometimes the thing you want arrives when your energy finally says, I would love this, but I will not crumble without it. And yes, I know some of you are listening and thinking, but if I detach, won't I become lazy? Won't I lose my chance? Won't he think I do not care? No. Healthy detachment is not laziness. It is not apathy. It is not ghosting your own desires. It is not folding your arms, sitting in the dark, and waiting for the universe to drop a husband through the ceiling. Detachment still includes effort. It still includes honesty. It still includes expressing interest, showing up, communicating, flirting, trying, loving. The difference is this: you stay engaged without becoming enslaved by one specific outcome. That is the sweet spot. That is the fire. You do your part with warmth and clarity, then you release the death grip. You stop trying to force chemistry where there is none. You stop trying to stretch mixed signals into commitment. You stop trying to decode crumbs like they are gourmet meals. You stop auditioning for a role in a relationship that has not been offered. You stop turning potential into promises. You stop negotiating with obvious disinterest because your loneliness is loud. You stop trying to mother, coach, rescue, inspire, or emotionally babysit a grown man into choosing you. And the wildest part is this: men feel that shift. They feel when a woman is present but not pleading. They feel when she is warm but not weak. They feel when she likes them but does not revolve around them. They feel when her attention is a gift instead of a leash. That kind of woman is magnetic because she is not trying to steal value from the connection. She is bringing value to it. She is not saying, please pick me so I can feel worthy. She is saying, this is who I am, and if we fit, beautiful. If not, I will still sleep peacefully tonight. That energy is rare. It is calm, but it has teeth. It is soft, but it is not flimsy. It is loving, but it is not self-abandoning. It is spicy because it carries self-respect. And self-respect is hot. Desperation is draining. Self-respect is clean heat. And one more thing, ladies. The right man is not scared by your standards, your calm, your honesty, or your ability to walk away. He is only scared if what he wanted was easy access without real effort. So stop shrinking, stop bargaining, and stop trying to look less powerful just to keep a weak connection alive. The right connection can handle your truth. The wrong one will choke on it. Period. So if you want to practice this in real life, start very simply. Notice where your mood gets hijacked by someone else's inconsistency. Notice where one late reply sends your mind into a storm. Notice where you start fantasizing instead of observing. Notice where you overgive to earn security. Notice where you keep calling anxiety chemistry. Notice where you confuse intensity with intimacy. And when you catch yourself, do not shame yourself. Just come back home. Come back to your body. Come back to the facts. Come back to your standards. Come back to the question, what is mine to do right now? Not, how do I secure him? Not, how do I stop him from leaving? Not, how do I become irresistible enough to control the outcome? Just, what is mine to do with dignity right now? Maybe what is yours is sending the honest text and then putting the phone down. Maybe what is yours is admitting this connection feels uneven. Maybe what is yours is walking away from confusion instead of trying to romance it into clarity. Maybe what is yours is grieving the fantasy you built so you can finally see the truth. Maybe what is yours is learning how to soothe your own nervous system instead of hiring random men to do that job badly. Because at the end of the day, detachment is not about losing interest in love. It is about losing your addiction to emotional chaos. It is about no longer mistaking obsession for passion. It is about no longer handing strangers the keys to your self-worth. It is about becoming the kind of woman who can love deeply without drowning, desire fully without begging, and walk away cleanly when something is not right. So no, the goal is not to become cold. The goal is to become clear. The goal is not to become unavailable. The goal is to become anchored. The goal is not to play games. The goal is to stop being played by your own unhealed hunger. If this message hits you, good. Sit with it. Let it burn through some illusions. Let it expose the places where you have been gripping too hard. Let it show you where your power has been leaking. And then begin the shift. Little by little, choice by choice, breath by breath. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for listening with an open heart. Thank you for choosing this channel as a place where you can learn about self-love, dating, attraction, and relationship dynamics in a deeper and more honest way. And as I always say, if you want your relationships to change, you have to change first. Have a beautiful day.